My name is Claire, I'm 32, and if I could revisit one moment in my life, it would be a Thursday night I can't forget, not because it was dramatic or loud, but because of a single sentence I wish I had never spoken. A throwaway remark that carried enough weight to unravel 3 years of love, trust, and steady building. It wasn't an argument. No slammed doors, no shouting, no broken dishes. Just one careless line that slipped past my lips and changed everything. If you've ever spoken too quickly and felt the damage linger long after, you'll understand the ache I still carry. That evening seemed completely ordinary. I sat on the counter, scrolling through my phone, while Ryan stirred a pot of vegetable soup, his favorite comfort dish. Cooking always grounded him, and I should have paid attention to the quiet pride in his eyes when he glanced my way. "I just got the email," he said with a soft, hopeful smile. It's official. The promotion he'd worked so hard for had finally come through. It was a huge moment for him. But instead of celebrating with him, I barely lifted my eyes and muttered, "That's great," still distracted by my screen. He slowed his stirring, his voice laced with hurt. "I thought you'd be a little happier for me." The truth was, he was right. That promotion meant everything to him. But earlier that day, my sister had mentioned Nathan, my ex. She'd gone on about his trips, his flashy lifestyle, his endless spending. Nathan was all show. Expensive cars, fancy watches, smooth charm. But he never really saw me. Not the way Ryan did. Still, I let those comparisons eat at me. And instead of shutting them down, I let them poison my thoughts. Then, I turned that poison on the one man who didn't deserve it. Looking at Ryan, the kind, patient, steady man who had chosen me every single day, I said the cruelest words I've ever spoken. Maybe if you were more like Nathan, you'd have gotten that promotion sooner. The silence afterward was heavier than any fight. Ryan didn't shout or argue. He just froze, as though I'd taken the air out of the room. He carefully set the ladle down, turned off the stove, wiped his hands, and walked out. Panic hit me. "Ryan, wait. I didn't mean it like that." I begged. But by then, he was pulling out his old duffel bag. Calmly, he folded a few clothes, grabbed his charger and sneakers. I tried again, whispering, I was upset. It came out wrong. But he wouldn't meet my eyes. Zipping the bag closed, he said quietly, "You did mean it, Claire, and that's okay. I just can't keep giving everything to someone who keeps measuring me against a man who never gave you what you truly needed. I never want to compete with your past. I only want to build something real." There was no anger in his voice, just finality. Then he left. The click of the door closing sounded louder than any slam could have. I stood frozen, convinced he'd come back after a walk, or in the morning. But morning came, and he didn't return. A week later, his coat was gone, his mug was missing from the shelf, his toothbrush no longer by the sink. That's when I knew he wasn't coming back. Ryan had never asked me to erase my past. He never asked me to forget Nathan. All he wanted was to be loved for who he was, not overshadowed by someone who never truly saw me. And I failed him. After days of trying, I finally recorded a voice message. 42 attempts before I got through it, without breaking. "Ryan, I'm sorry. Not just for what I said, but for making you feel like you weren't enough. Nathan had money, yes, but he never really saw me. You did. And I made you feel like that didn't matter. That's on me." I sent it, waited, and after nearly 2 weeks, he replied, "You don't owe me an apology, Claire. I just need peace. And I couldn't find it with you. No bitterness, no rage, just the truth. And somehow, that hurt more than anger ever could. It's been 3 months now. I don't wake up expecting him to return, but I wake up wishing he could. I see him the way I fold my scarf. He taught me that. In the burnt toast I still make, because he always rescued it before it charred. In the empty side of the bed, I still can't bring myself to use. I don't miss the idea of him. I miss him. The man who remembered how I liked my coffee, who stood steady beside me in crowded rooms, who spent weekends building furniture with his hands and kissed my forehead just because. And I lost him because I couldn't let go of someone who never deserved to stay in my heart. So if you're with someone who chooses you daily, who shows up in small, unglamorous ways. Don't make them feel like they're second best. Don't wait until the door closes to realize they were the right choice all along. Sometimes people don't leave because of anger. Sometimes they leave because, at last, they choose themselves. And when they do, that door rarely opens again.